Test, test. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to UU Miami, both here and on the live stream. Please come in, make yourself comfortable, and find a seat. My name is Jane Thayer. I'm a white, cisgendered woman with dark hair, and I'm wearing today my yellow membership lanyard. And I also am wearing a blue sleeveless dress, and I'm joined up on the chancel by Joseph Toledo, our pianist, who will be playing and accompanying our hymns today. Before we begin, I invite those online to grab a chalice or a candle so you can light it with us when we light our chalice. We're going to start singing together number 318, We Would Be One, from the Gray Hymnal. And the words will be on the screen. Please rise in body or spirit and join in. We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. We would be one, pledge ourselves to greater service with love and justice, strive to make us free. Lovely. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our multi-platform space here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation. We say multi-platform because we're on live stream and we're here in the sanctuary in person. UU Miami is a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association. We bring a liberal religious voice to the great city of Miami, a city we acknowledge that sits on the traditional land of the Tequesta, the Seminole tribe of Florida, and the Miccosukee tribe of Indians of Florida. Currently, our Sunday services are guided by the worship committee, whose purpose is to support and strengthen our shared ministry. Our service today is an intergenerational service. We're going to break out into different conversation spaces, and this will help us get out of our seats and deepen our connection to each other. More than ever, we do need to be in community together. So if you're new and you'd like to learn more about UU Miami and sharing in this community, you can find our contact information on the screen. Social media is at UUC Miami, or you can email communications@uumiami.org, or speak to someone with one of these yellow membership lanyards, and we will point you in the right direction for more info. It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of our services. We say welcome to your joy, your hope, your pride. We say welcome to your grief, your fear, your anger, and the parts of you that are not yet ready to be seen and heard. Welcome to them as well. And now together, let's recite our unison affirmation, first in English and then in Spanish. Please rise in body or spirit. The words will be projected on the screen. Love is the spirit of this faith, and service is its prayer. In love, we agree to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another. And now in Spanish. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra fe, y el servicio es su oración. En amor acordamos vivir unidos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en libertad y ayudarnos el uno al otro. Gracias from a non-Spanish speaker. I appreciate it. Today's prelude is going to be played by Joseph. It's a Hakuna Matata by Elton John and Tim Rice. So this week for Sunday Connect service, we're all going to participate in the same activity. We're all going to get a chance to meet and talk to everyone who's here in the space. And before we break out, and I talk more on that, we're going to take a moment here together to center ourselves. And then following this meditation, we're going to hear Joseph play Sunshine on My Shoulders by John Denver, Mike Taylor, and Dick Kniss, or Niss, maybe. So where is this? Okay, perfect. This reading is called The Many Ways We Listen by Reverend Michelle LaGrave. Breathe in slowly now. Breathe out. Breathe in Gently now, breathe out. Listen to your breath. Listen for another's breath. Whether you are here, in the sanctuary, at home, with a family member, or a cat, or at the local coffee shop, listen. Now place your hand on your chest, or do so for another if they need and want your help. Again, slowly now, breathe in and breathe out. Some of us hear with our ears the sounds we make, the sounds others make. Some of us hear with our eyes, watch lips and hands and arms and body movements. Some of us hear with our bodies, feel vibrations in the air and on our skin. Slowly now, breathe in, breathe out. Listen in the many ways that you know how. As we breathe together, some of us on our own, some of us with help, so do we live together. Gently now, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Together and apart, we are many and we are one. Breathe in, breathe out. Listen in the many ways you know how, as together we enter into the silence. Amen and blessed be. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to, what I had called this originally when I had this idea, I called it speed theology, or speed philosophy, similar to speed dating, where maybe we'd have one-on-one conversations, everyone would pair off, and then after a couple minutes, we'd switch, and we'd switch, and we'd switch, and so everyone has a chance to meet everyone who's here in the room. But maybe we'll do groups of 3 so folks aren't so put on the spot. And maybe we can spread out. I have 3 tables in the back, and I have 2 tables here, but you can also sit in the seats if you want to pair off or triple off. And so what we're going to do is have maybe 3 or 4 minutes to speak in the group on a prompt. And again, this is your time, this is your space. If you'd rather just greet each other, that's perfectly fine. But a prompt this month is the practice of inclusion. And so thinking about those themes and how they play in your life and in your belief system. And so, ideally, while acknowledging that this may not be so inclusive for everyone, because I am asking you to move around and I'm asking you to have conversations in this big space, we're going to start by finding a group of people, finding a space in the room, either at one of these tables or one of these tables. We'll move some chairs up there, or in the seats. And then once we're all settled in those positions, I'll give you a prompt, and I'll start the time. Once the time ends, the people who want to move to the new group so we can start to intermingle and intermix will move. There's plenty of opportunity to stay put also and have people come to you so we can intermingle and intermix. I think that is the plan. Does anyone have any questions at this point? All right, perfect. So this is our Sunday Connect service. Why don't we right now take a couple minutes and find a spot and some people, and we're going to gather for conversation. And when I come back to the mic, that means we're gonna focus and get the next prompt. Okay, I thought it would be great post that to come back together and share any revelations, because here we are, UU Miami congregation. What are our revelations from this activity? I have a microphone I can pass around if anyone wants to share. There's another prompt I could do for all of us back together again. Does anyone have anything they want to share from their conversations that they found exciting? One moment.
Good morning, I'm Bob Jacober. If we commit to getting along well with each other, we sure as hell increase the chances that we will all get along together well.
In one of my groups, we were talking about like the generation labels are, and this was maybe the first time I'd heard this so clearly, but the generation labels are dividing, very dividing and divisive, and that's a thing that is difficult. That was something I found interesting.
Okay. So Jane, I want to thank you. I love these services where we get into small groups and really get to connect with each other. I just love them. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
In our group, as far as they said, ask the question, if you're not understanding somebody, explain to me. Tell me how you came to that understanding about the world or about your life or whatever that issue. And that way they can give us some background. Maybe we could do some understanding.
I love that. I feel like that's what we're learning, is that the more you understand others' stories and experience, the easier it is to understand what they're saying there in that moment.
When we talked about ways to make people feel, isolated people feel more included, Luigi said at another church he went to, or maybe he said, I'm sorry, never mind. This congregation used to do a thing where like the whole service was joys and concerns. And I was like, that would make a really good Sunday Connect. And I feel like I have just volunteered myself to do that once we get past the stuff you have planned. So I have just wanted to openly volunteer myself to do that.
I love it. And that's a great, yay, volunteering straight up in the service where everyone can hear. Good one. That also a slightly different, but a little pitch for coming up in March. We are going to have a soapbox Sunday, and everyone who wants to can get up here for 3 minutes and speak on anything they want to speak about. 3 minutes, and there's going to be a timer. Jenna's got the whole system down. There's going to be a timer. We're going to turn off the mic. Derek, you're going to be involved. There's going to be signs saying you have a minute left. And then the beautiful thing is we can continue these conversations after. But a whole service on joys and concerns would be lovely. I've got something to send you for that. Cool.
One of the things we talked about in our group was the people that are, watching. And perhaps a way to encourage them to talk to each other when they're online there. So hi guys online.
Yeah. Derek is back there facilitating the same sort of conversation that's happening here on the chat, on live stream. Any takeaways from that, Derek? Not really. Yeah. They didn't know that they were being called on at this moment. Sorry, Derek.
Hello. Sorry about that. I wasn't prepared to say anything. I had a good conversation with Carol Klopfer about being inclusive, but not too inclusive. I mean, that doesn't sound good, but I've always kind of had this. There's always this thing among UUs of like, you can believe whatever you want. And when I was in seminary, we had a lot of conversations about no, no, you can't actually. We have certain values, and if people don't necessarily align with those values, maybe this might not be the best place for them. So that's kind of what we were discussing.
And I think that was something that came up at General Assembly last year as well, when they were rewriting the Article 2 language about literally making it say, if when you align, everyone who aligns with our values is welcome here. And people were like, but aren't we supposed to be inclusive of everybody? And it's, if you're causing harm in some way, then maybe we don't need to be inclusive of you. That sort of idea. So that's a great. So anyway, the live stream today was being activated, just to share. Anyone else have anything to say before we move on? CJ?
Hello. Okay. To add to the point you were making about, if you're not aligning with these values, we don't necessarily need to include you. The paradox of tolerance is what that reminds me of. In a tolerant society, the one thing you cannot tolerate is intolerance, because that will very quickly take over everything and then try to completely destroy every government agency.
Yes. Yes. In a tolerant society, the only thing you cannot tolerate is intolerance. All right, so we're going to quickly finish up the service, come back together into making an offering to the congregation. This congregation is sacred, as you heard today, to so many of us. It's an opportunity, and the giving of the offering is not just a stale habit. It is not. It's an opportunity each week to recommit to this place and to this community. So an offering is an affirmation. It's a yes. When we give, we say yes to something we value. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen if you're at home or here in the congregation. There will also be a basket passed around, and we are splitting the plate this from January to March with Women's Emergency Network, an organization that helps Floridians access abortion. It's more important than ever, considering that the Florida 2024 amendment to limit government interference with abortion did not pass. Currently, our government blocks abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy to support when to support choice. And while we receive this offering, Joseph will play Joy to the World by Hoyt Axton. May we give and say yes to the values of our faith. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we're going to sing again. Maybe we'll skip that. Should we skip that? Do you want to sing together one more time? Yes, let's do it. Love will guide us. Please, number 131 in the gray hymnal. The words will be on the screen. Please rise in body or spirit and join in. What did I say, 131? Let's do it. Love will guide us, peace has dried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the night. Woohoo! Quickly, thank you. Thank you, everyone who is here today. It was so great connecting with you all. Thank you to the volunteers and the staff who tirelessly serve this community. Thank you, Joseph, for accompanying our hymns and providing beautiful, beautiful music. Derek for running our AV and live stream and facilitating those conversations online. And thank you again, everyone here, for joining this morning. You're welcome. Next week, when women say no, the story of Queen Vashti. This is Reverend Derail Holcomb. Throughout history, women who said no have been silenced, punished, or erased. Queen Vashti's defiance is more than a biblical footnote. It's a timeless story of truth and resistance. So that's next week. Today, we have connections and bocaditos, continue those conversations that may have been dangling from our moments together today, and have some snacks there in the back. We also have our drum circle return with Bonnie Petticourt leading. That will be, yay, that'll be in the Emerson room following snacks. Let's see what else. We have, wait, I have my little notes right here. Where do they go? I appreciate your patience. That's not it. It's right. Oops. Here. Okay. We also have these little beautiful commitment cards. These are what you fill out to let us know what you would like to pledge to UU Miami in the next fiscal year. This pledge drive helps us plan the budget. It helps us plan our programs. It helps us plan our projects and operations. And your contribution and your commitment is what makes this community continue. And so it's very, very important. It asks for what your pledge is and who you are and other ways that you may like to serve in addition to your monetary pledge. So this is all very important, and the cards are at the back, or you can ask someone with a yellow lanyard to point you in the right direction. That's it there. I'm going to close out now. by saying that last week after the service, we had a small group gather to reflect on the 30 days of love that the UUA had sent out, Side with Love had sent out. And we talked about how right now we're going through it. We're going through it because there is a better time coming. And time now might be great also, but it's not for many. We talked about being frustrated and what do we do? And I'm talking, this is political. We were reflecting on immigration. We were reflecting on non-binary and trans rights. We were reflecting on water and indigenous rights and black people in the future. That was the title of the last week. We talked about the wisdom of non-binary, and well, first, before we were talking about frustration. What can we do? What can we do? And we talked about how in order to be strong, in order to do the work, to build a better future, we need to make sure that we're connected and we're not divided and we're working together and we're in a strong community. We also talked about the wisdom of non-binary and how learning to, I don't know what my notes mean, but I feel like, through time, there's been a little more freedom to speak about our different identities and talk about who we are. And right now, learning to see and must show and share our love for anyone who's... So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say there are people whose identities and humanity, trans people, people with disabilities, people and their own histories in our country who are being told that their humanness is not okay, at least in our government, maybe not connected as people, but our government is saying these things. And so we need to share our love for those in our lives who identify in ways that are being attacked. Tell them we care, tell them we love them, tell each other we care, tell each other we love each other. And I'm going to end, and because we're going through it, so that's what we do, is we're going through it to get to the other side, where everyone is beautiful in everybody's eyes. And so I'm going to end with this reading, Marginal Wisdom by Leslie Takahashi. Jack, would you mind going over to Nana right now? Or standing with me and holding my hand. They teach us to read in black and white. Truth is this, the rest is false. You are whole or broken. Who you love is acceptable or not. Life tells its truth in many hues. We are taught to think in either or. To believe the teachings of Jesus or Buddha. To believe in human potential or a power beyond a single wall. I am broken or I am powerful. Life embraces multiple truths, speaks of both and of and. We are taught to see in absolutes. Good versus evil, male versus female, old versus young, gay versus straight. Let us see the fractions, the spectrum, the margins. Let us open our hearts to the complexity of our worlds. Let us make our lives sanctuaries to nurture our many identities. The day is coming when we all will know that the rainbow world is more gorgeous than the monochrome, that a river of identities can ebb and flow over the static, stubborn rocks in its course, that the margins hold the center. I invite you now to stand and greet one another, maybe someone you didn't speak. Oh, we have the announcement. We've got 2 announcements. I wrote it down, but I didn't follow through. And Judy's looking at me like, what's going on? Come on. Come on. Patience, I appreciate everyone's patience and participation. I appreciate everyone's patience and participation.
Okay, thank you.
Run off the stage in a second.
All right. Again, my glasses. Oh. Good morning. I'm Judy Homer. I am representing Team Chancel. The team is made up of a few people who are interested in restoring our badly damaged reredos. What is a reredos? A reredos is a decorative screen or structure behind the altar at the back of a chancel. For example, in a Catholic church, the reredos may be decorated with religious icons. Ours was designed to follow all of the beautiful, deliberate shapes and designs throughout our sanctuary and, in fact, our campus. Frank Lloyd Wright. The architect who designed our building was a devotee of Frank Lloyd Wright. You may know that Frank Lloyd Wright was a 3rd-generation Unitarian. Frank Lloyd Wright said, quote, "I believe in God, but for me it is spelled N-A-T-U-R-E, nature." What is the purpose of a reredos? Oh, this is the best part. The main purpose of a reredos is to enhance the beauty and spiritual atmosphere of a sanctuary. It directs attention toward the altar, or in our case, the pulpit. Our reredos has been badly damaged. Team Chancel intends to refurbish our reredos to restore it to its original splendor. Before long, you will get to peek behind the curtain. Stay tuned. All right, thank you.
We've got one more.
Thank you, Jack.
One more exciting participatory thing to do before we say goodbye, and that is sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to Andy and Zoltan, who's not here but will hear us in his heart. And so, let's do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Andy and Zoltan. Happy birthday to you. Yay, congratulations. There is leftover cake. It is delicious. And now, please rise, greet each other, enjoy some cake, enjoy some bites, and stay for the drum circle.